Greetings, girl down the street. Yes, tomorrow. Look forward. I'm wait for a few more people to come in, and this is what I'm gonna do for you. And mod it up, and that's so that we'll talk about it. Peace, all that has entered. Greetings. Waiting for a few more people to come in, and then I'll get started. Oh yeah, we're on. Tomorrow we'll set. We'll reach out. I'm gonna start early. Waiting to see. I know there's quite a few people live right now. I know somebody went live for the specific purpose. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I do. Still waiting for more people to enter the building. Smash that like as you enter. Enter. This is QI Critical Thinking, and today we're going to host call-ins. So I'm just waiting till we get like maybe 10 people. No problem. You may have to just roll on. I know there's a few people live. Everybody's running around to the drama. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and get started. For all that is going to be late or lost, then it'll just be late or lost. But today I'm dealing with church hurt. Let's be real. This is not the Section 8 sector of YouTube. This is the church hurt sector of YouTube. 80% of the people in this sector are PKs or people who frequently go to church or came from the church environment. And look at what's going on. And in my opinion, it's the same type of behavior that I've seen in a lot of churches. Hey, Y Sims. Hey, the missing piece. Thank you. And so, like, we have to call it like we see it. This is not the Section 8 sector, and they would like to divert it from the Section 8 sector. This is the church hurt sector of YouTube. Most of these people are church hurt, or they're showing typical abused church behavior. Now, and what's sad is that a lot they're denying it, and a lot of people would like to even throw it off onto other things. Now, we have two different sectors of church sector, but they're all combined to one. So we'll say church hurt sector A and church sector B. But, all in all, they're connected together. Hey, Bird, they're all connected together. And I have a few questions as well as we're going to do call-ins because I want to make a few points. It is sad that, I see our Black people care more about religious institutions that are causing demise than our own selves. I mean, look at it. We're protecting the religious institutions. We're even funding these religious institutions that are supposed to be helping us. They're supposed to be healing us. They're supposed to be saving lost souls. Yet look at the news. Listen to around YouTube to the different things that are happening almost daily, of how many people are getting abused, how much drama is coming from the church, which is spiraling over into this YouTube sector and others. And a lot of people, they would like to say, a lot of people would like to say that, YouTube is just YouTube. But no, these are real people on YouTube, real lives. These same attitudes that these people have on YouTube are the same attitudes that we face in real life. In fact, you have a much greater number on YouTube than you have, than you can reach or than you would even encounter on a daily basis on YouTube. So this is an example of who we are as a people. And are we proud of ourselves? Look around. It is like hurting people all over. Hurting people all over. And all I see is verbal abuse. Verbal abuse here, verbal abuse there. And they're all wrong. I'm not pointing no fingers at one specific or two specifics. They're all wrong. Because someone should be the one to say, we're going to make a stop to this. Someone should say, we're going to make a change to this. But instead, I see more people that is glad to proclaim this as being so-called Section 8, but really the church hurt sector of YouTube. They're proud of that. They wear it on their chest, and that's a shame, people. What have we become? Do you think our ancestors or even the God would find approval in that? Yes, verbal abuse and bullying. And it's just, yeah, you're right. YouTube has become dysfunctional in our, especially in our sector. And it's not to be specific and honest. It's just not YouTube. This is actually happening in our community. So, today I just had to speak on it. See, like I said before, I always need to give reverence to my ancestors because my ancestors light a fire under me to speak about things. And I have to follow their guidance because these are the times when we should be correcting, we should be resolving a lot of problems that are happening in our society. Truth be told, like how many religious institutions, Black religious institutions, are speaking about all the missing Black girls and women? How many of these Black religious organizations are really making an aggressive effort to resolve Black on Black crime? How many are making effort to resolve our Black economics problem? Because they said we're 0.0 in terms of wealth in a Black community. 0.0. Now we have plenty of money and we pay our tithes and offerings. So what's happening here? As well, how many Black churches do you see actually take an aggressive stand against racism and social injustices? For as many Black churches as we have, we should have more aggressive activism. For as many Black churches as we have. Now, let's just look at the civil rights era. During the civil rights era, it was basically organized under the guise of the Black church. Not anymore. Or Black religions, because we didn't even have all these religions back then. We didn't even have all of the variants or of Black religions. But like, why aren't they doing anything? And they're supposed to be there to help. They're supposed to be there to heal souls. Most of the churches are the ones that, they have a mass amount of child sexual abuse. And yet I see most of the people turning a blind eye, even blaming victims. How ashamed are we? It's like we care more about the religious leader or the religious leaders whom are abusing our children and who've been proven to abuse our children for decades. due to rape, molestation, spiritual abuse, financial abuse, domestic abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. All of that happens within the church. Hi, Kwani. I chose this topic because I look around. This is like I look around and I analyze. And like I said, my ancestors put a fire under me. And my whole purpose is like, we have to help our people. Nobody's going to come in. If we don't love or care about ourselves, nobody's else is going to love and care about us. So we have to solve our problems. And we're so busy paying attention to minute things, being around here, being dysfunctional. And nobody is even tackling any of these major crises that we have going on within our Black community, like missing Black girls and women, like our 0.0 Black economics. Let me say it again. Let me keep preaching. Like the Black on Black violence, like racism and social injustices. Nobody's speaking about that. Nobody's speaking about that in this sector. And it's not that this sector is young. In this sector, we have people that are anywhere. I would say this sector runs anywhere from 20 to like 65, 70 years old. So this is an example of our Black families. I have a lot of questions. Like, it's even proven that a lot of these churches are even participating in sex trafficking. There has been some pastors and stuff in Ohio that was recently sentenced. Where's the outrage? When are we going to change? Why do we keep doing it? Why do we keep supporting these institutions, any of them, that are causing us demise? Why are we not correcting these institutions that are causing us demise? Why are they not held accountable when they're supposed to be in place for specific reasons? When did it become godly to hustle and scam people? When did it become godly to judge or down other people who may not have as much as you? Because, if you look at us as a collective and they said, we're only as strong as our weakest link, then, we're all poor. And then, we seem to have this idea that I can be the only Black person that makes it. I'm going to be the only Black person that survive. But no, selfishness won't get us anywhere. When did it become godly to molest children? When did it become godly to abuse women, whether it be verbally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically? When did it become godly to do that? When did it become godly to enslave people's minds? When did chastisement become godly? See, I thought that church and religion was supposed to heal and was supposed to, help lost souls. But I guess I was wrong. But the thing is, we cannot keep turning blind eyes. We cannot keep allowing, the same things to be perpetuated. All of this hurt, all of this abuse to be, perpetuated, round and around and around, dysfunctional, generational curses. We can't keep doing that and think we're going to survive. We're in a detriment. We're in crisis right now. We're coming up on election time. Are we discussing anything related to that? It's like, where are our minds? Because they said we're docile. They said we're sleeping sheep. And it's like we're proving them right every day. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up and start being accountable for our survival? Start being accountable for our children's survival. Start being accountable for protecting our children. Start being accountable for stopping the abuse, stopping the violence. We're acting as though we're animals. And our ancestors were not like that. And we did not come from cultures like that. How do you think that God or our ancestors view us today? Looking around YouTube, do you think they're pleased? How far do you think we're going to make it with this kind of behavior? Do you think it's going to stop on its own? It's sad. It's really sad. And so when the time comes for us to when we have to stand for something, when we have no other choice to stand but to stand for something and stand together for an issue, it's sad to believe that we're not going to make it. We have got to change, and the change starts with us, and it starts with our behaviors, our actions. You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else, before you can love God, before you can love church, before you can love, your children. You have to first love self. And the way we're allowing ourselves to be treated and disrespected, we don't love ourselves. And we have a low or little self-worth, low or little self-value. And we have to change that. We have to change that. And we have to look at where a lot of this stuff is perpetuated, where a lot of this stuff is taught. Some things have got to change. It's a lot of stuff that's pushed through a lot of these religions. A lot of our religious leaders have sold us out. There is so many things happening in these temples that are supposed to be sacred and holy that are so unsacred and so unholy. And when is it going to change? We're speaking out, but we're still supporting. We're still turning blind eyes, and we're not holding religious leaders, our Black leaders, anybody accountable for any of these things that are happening to us, any of these demises. It's like we're almost just willing to give up. Like we're conquered already. Like we're defeated. We're acting as though we are defeated people. And it's so sad. We got to start using our minds. We got to start saying and researching the origins of a lot of this stuff and the purposes that they were placed or put into our lives. Or we got to even look at the fact that some of this stuff may have been infiltrated and no longer serve us any good. And we have to stop supporting stuff that does not serve us any good. When the most of the abuse that you hear comes out of such institutions, why are we supporting them? Now, I want to do call-ins. I have the call-in number. Let me go ahead and turn it on because I have some serious questions and I really would like to know. I mean, I really want to know. I don't mind. Excuse me. Give me a moment. I'm one that I like intellectual debates. I like discussions. I don't mind people having opposing opinions.
On the super conference.
Because the only way we're going to learn is if we discuss it. The only way we're going to learn, or the only way we're going to learn problem, the only way to problem solve is to the only way to we're going to solve the problem is to problem solving. Problem solving is like having conversations. Problem solving is trying to come to resolutions, trying to find a resolve. Because everybody has a piece of the puzzle and we all need to get involved. Okay. Shout out to the Real Queen Royalty, and also Queenie was in the building. They are only They are only able to do it because we take their word, right? Because we take their word instead of actually reading his word, because half of the stuff I hear ministers has nothing to do with God. Facts. It's like, like when did when did abuse become godly? Does God approve of abuse? That is a good question. That is like, my God doesn't. And then we got to call it like we see it. Look at the way that this church hurt sector, not Section 8 sector of YouTube, is acting, verbally abusing each other left and right. And it's like it's normal. It's like it's okay. It's like we're proving it, and we're grown-ups, which and a lot of us have children. I know there's a lot of people live right now, and some of them were live on purpose because they saw my topic. One in particular, one who is, a pimping pastor, and definitely didn't want this kind of word to be out because they want to continue to use and abuse Black women's pocketbooks. And they want to continue to manipulate people's minds with lies. And they want to continue to try to fool you that they're not doing anything when they are one of the worst. Y'all got to wake up and start paying attention and stop supporting this behavior because it's hurting. And people are steady pushing you in that direction because, like, at the end of the day, a lot of this is about money gain. A lot, this is about them getting richer and you, like staying in the same position that you stand in. They don't care if it's your last meal. They want your tithes. They don't care if you don't have any gas money. They want your tithes. And then you bet not go ask them for your, because really, to be honest with you, tithes and offerings are supposed to go to the community and not the pastors or the religious institutions, according to that book, according to the Bible. Yeah, a hustle. We got to learn how to be more responsible with our money. We got to learn how to invest our money where we're getting something in return and residual in return, where it's long term. Because we're the number one consumers, yet we don't own anything. That's sad. All these churches and we don't own anything. Half the people don't even own half of the churches are not even owned, by the congregation or the church. Yeah, and and it's like it's going on like the child sexual abuse and stuff is going on frequently. And nobody's saying, and it's like that person is excused because they preach, because they sound good. We're not holding people accountable, and that's what's happening. And we got to even hold ourselves accountable. Who's going to protect our children? What about our future generations? It's like we don't even care about a future. It's like we're not even paying attention. And here on YouTube, we're so busy keeping up with the drama and mess, we don't even know what's going on in politics, what laws they're passing. So I was just, like the call-in numbers out there is activated. Anybody can feel welcome or free to call in. I know there's a lot of people quite live right now. Hello, how are you doing?
QI, it's Kwani.
Hey, Kwani, how are you doing?
Hi, now what? I'm doing well. No, my voice is kind of messed up. I got laryngitis.
That's fine.
So I want to know. Okay, I see what your subject, your topic is saying, but what are you really asking? Are you talking about on YouTube, or are you talking about globally?
Well, YouTube is like the word. Like, okay, when I say this is not around, they're saying right now that this is the Section 8 sector of YouTube. No, it's not. It's the church hurt section of YouTube, because most of the people in this sector comes from that church environment. And then a lot of them come from a specific denomination of a church environment. A lot of them are PKs and everything.
You really believe that? I don't come from no coaching. I don't come from that.
I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody. I'm just saying, like, when you look at, if you were to look at like numbers, in terms of a minority or majority, a lot of people, that's what I see. And then I see that, and the way I feel is that people, like, okay, when we go to church or when we looking at religion and spirituality, it's to heal our souls. It's to make us better. It's to help us to live righteously. And, I don't see those kind of behaviors coming from any of those types of people. Instead, I see more verbal abuse, like verbal abuse, and they're acting like it's okay. And then
I get what you're saying, but you're also asking for the broken to be healed. They're not. These are broken people.
Right.
It's like, let me speak about myself. Let me speak about me, because I get on here and I act a donkey too. But I'm not going to let you hurt me, and I'm not hurt you back. That's what animals do too. You do not back me in a corner and then expect for me to not to claw your eyes out.
Well, Quinn, we all are wrong. We all are wrong. I'm not like, that's why I use the terminology all the time, we, because, like, I'm just as wrong, just by participating, or just sometimes by supporting, just by sometimes just liking, you're just as wrong, or not speaking out, or not, correcting, we're just as wrong. So I'm not saying, and I'm, the reason why this is general is because I'm not pointing a finger at one or two. And like I said earlier, it's all of us.
You're right. I get it.
And
like I said, I don't believe in religion. I'm not a religious person. I believe in spirituality.
Me too.
I don't believe in separations of religion either. I don't even know how to even explain it. I just don't. I believe in non-denominational, and when I hear religion, I hear money.
Yes.
That's what comes to when I hear the word religion. The first thing comes to my mind: manipulate me out of my coin.
And then
that's what I hear.
And when I hear religion, I hear belittling women, because that's one of the things. See, it's like when I became spiritual because like I was raised just like everybody else in the church. The majority of us, Black people in the church. But like one of the things I could never understand, because I used to listen, I read the Bible from beginning to end with the dictionary because I wanted true understanding. I was like one of those serious religious people when, I was in church, but I came across a lot of contradictions that I could not agree with. And one of them was the way that they view women. I could not understand that. And I couldn't support that either, because, if you have if you love yourself, then you're not going to allow yourself to be disrespected. And then you're going to know if you have a connection with a higher being, with God, then, that God does not want you to be treated that way. God is not saying, that you should be treated that way. And that's one of the biggest problems that I have, with, religion, is the way that they, view the way that women should be treated, or women should be property, and then I have the history of that, but I don't want to go too deep into that. But the reason why I'm doing this live stream, and I'm doing it from a sector to a massive point of view, because this does spill over back into our communities. This might be YouTube, but these are people from our community. These are, so it's at the same time. And then it's like a larger number of people from our community represented at one time. And these attitudes don't stop on YouTube. These same attitudes, are perpetuated even out into our community. These are our Black families. This is us.
You're right.
And so we have a lot of stuff going on right now. And it's so sad that not many people are paying attention to the things and the issues. And we're the grown-ups. Most of these people in this sector and stuff like that are anywhere from, 20 all the way up to 70 years old. And we're not talking about any of these crises that we're going through. They call this an epidemic of the mass amount of Black women and black girls going missing these days, and nobody's speaking about it. Not even in these churches or anything.
I understand what I understand what you're saying. I understand. I get what you're saying. The thing is, no one wants to have that hard conversation. You understand what I'm saying? We don't even want to talk about race. Some of us are afraid to even say that we're black.
I'm not
on Review the Oracle's platform and want to have a conversation about racism. I got ridiculed. They don't want to have that conversation. People are afraid to even admit they're black. If you don't want to say that you're a black person, you can't say anything else.
They're self-hating.
If you, I can't say, if I can't say myself, I can't say you.
Right. That's self-hating. Because if you can't admit, like, first of all, if they only knew where we were, the fact that we are the alpha and omega, especially the black woman, we're the first. Because if they knew anything about parthenogenesis, then they know the black woman is the first being and the closest related to God. The closest connection to God.
I get you and I and a few others get that. But we also understand that. Let's think about Noah's Ark. How God came to Noah and told Noah a flood was coming. He was the only one who believed God. So what he did was he gathered up a female and a male of each species and put on that boat. All of us ain't gonna be able to go, honey.
I know what you're saying.
Also accept that too.
Right.
I cannot leave my home tonight, sit in the middle of my community, and tell them something is about to happen. Armageddon is about to happen. And some of them gonna say, I believe you, and some of them gonna say, I don't. I can't stay here and wait for the ones who say, I don't believe you, and I die with them. I'm not gonna perish because you don't.
Right. And that's
because my people perish by lack of knowledge.
Facts.
That's your ignorance, not my ignorance. And we're not gonna be able to go.
Preach. And you're right.
We can't save them all. We're not gonna be able to save them all.
And that's what I'm doing. That's like what I'm doing here. Like, that's why I'm not I'm not even monetized. I'm not concentrating on numbers or anything, because at the end of the day, it's
and say here, like I said, you and I in the same boat together. I'm not on YouTube for numbers. I'm not on YouTube for monetization. I'm not on YouTube to go on there buffoonery. But right. I know I'm acting like a buffoon. I know I'm acting like one. I know what I'm doing. I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm being a buffoon. I'm on YouTube. Because I'm in the sector of buffoonery. I'm in the sector of buffoonery. I log on to it. The algorithm has connected me to the buffoonery part. Unless I get the hell out of here.
I got swept in a little bit too, but then my ancestors woke me up. They was like, and if you don't get out, guess what? You're gonna be sick. Because you know what we don't understand is a lot of this these negative energies and all of this negativity and stuff is making a lot of people sick, and they don't know it. Hey, TC, we're doing call-ins, and the topic is this is not the Section 8 sector, yet the church hurt sector. And basically what I've been speaking on is just like how a lot of these religious institutions and things are not really covering the issues that really plague us in our community. It's like they turn a blind eye. How, we're supporting them financially, yet our Black wealth is 0%. And so it's like topics, I'm speaking about things like that. I'm speaking about when are we going to wake up and stop supporting things that don't really serve us, and when are we going to like what you're doing? Keep speaking about it. Keep speaking about it until somebody hears you. That's about the only thing you can do. Right. Keep speaking about it until somebody hears you. And whoever wakes up. Whoever don't. There are many people that are in the matrix right now. So many people are stuck in the matrix, and they think what they see and what they hear is exactly what's happening. They don't see the forest because of the trees. Right. And some of them see it, and they're afraid. They're afraid to go through the forest. They're afraid. And fear is what keeps you grounded. Fear is what keeps you stunted. Right. Keeping secrets is what stunts you too. Oh yeah, that's what's hurt us. That's what started hurting us. All of these secrets in these churches and all of these fraternities, sororities, and organizations and stuff like that. That's like somewhat what has hurt us as well. And we have all these organizations Yet we have no resolve. We don't have anybody speaking on our behalf. Only people I see lately is somewhat every now and then the Black Caucus. And I'm just like, and they're not even saying anything. It's like they're afraid to speak.
Well, they're afraid to speak because they won't garner any government money.
Yeah, and we got to stop.
A lot of people are getting government money. Is the reason why they don't speak either.
Right.
If they speak on it, there'll be no government money.
You're right. Like a lot of churches and religions are 501c and they are controlled by the government. Correct. But we're the #1 consumers. That means a lot of money passes through our hands. The only difference is we don't own anything. We don't keep it in our communities. Now, doing segregation,
You're right.
We own everything. Like we had our own farmers. We had our own grocery stores. We had our own laundromats. We had our own everything because they wouldn't allow us to go to theirs, and we didn't need to. We even had our own Negro League, and that's what we need to get back to so that we can keep our own Black wealth. And so that we can own a piece of the pie, because it's a shame that we are indigenous to here. You know, a lot of us come from here, and we were over the tobacco industry. We were over, I have all that information. We were over vanilla. We was over rubber. We were mauve. Corn is American grown product, American product. You know, cotton is an American product. And one time we think that, we were brought over here. Everybody was brought over here on some ships, but no, a lot of people are indigenous to here. Like the original Mexicans are dark skins. They are the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Incas. And if you go and look up the information, you're going to see that the pictures of them being Black people.
Right.
And then we don't even try, like, in terms of history, in terms of science or anything. We're not trying to.
Nobody wants to know anything. Nobody wants to learn nothing.
Just like
nobody wants to learn anything. Nobody wants to know where they came from. Nobody wants to save some people don't even want to save themselves. Let's not say the children.
Right, and it's so sad.
You're asking for you have to think about. I mean, you got to keep on talking. Keep on talking. You have a voice. Keep talking. You're asking for people you're asking for apples and all they got are oranges, honey. You're not going to be able to save everybody. But the only thing you can do, and myself as well, is to keep talking.
Yeah,
keep talking.
I don't think my ancestors are going to let me get up off the gas, because it's like my ancestors, like a lot of our ancestors are holding us accountable these days because it's a different age these days, and it's like our time to come up. But instead of us making motions and stuff to come up and to wake up, it's like we're allowing ourselves to be distracted. And we don't understand that these distractions are placed in our face for a reason. Because we weren't always, in this lower position. And, and our ancestors are trying to get us back to where we're supposed to be. And a lot of us are, we're here to, be on our mission and our purpose and help our ancestors wake our people up. And it's just like, it is so sad to look around, especially like you turn on YouTube every day and all you see, you go from channel to channel. See, when you start meditating and stuff, see, I just started back meditating in different things. And when you start meditating and you go and you can automatically sense and feel the energy, you can automatically sense and feel that heavy negative energy.
Yeah, because it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing.
It's a spiritual thing.
I was feeling that same way, and that's the reason why I had to take a break.
Yeah, I understand.
I got to get out of here.
I definitely understand.
It feels like the walls are closing in on you. I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
And it's not healthy. And it's like you can't even, like, I used to enjoy YouTube, and it's gotten to the point where it's like 5 seconds over here. And then when you think the drama have subsided, when it's gonna end, then some new drama kicks off. And then here we go again. Right. It's a spiraling of dysfunction.
And they see it as laughter and joy, and I don't.
I don't see abuse.
Sometimes I watch some channels and cry after I watch them. Yeah, and I was not even in the chat. I'm just sitting there looking at it and I'm crying.
A lot of this stuff is verbal and emotional abuse. That's why I'm starting to call things what they are. Because, that's one of the things to wake these people up and get them out of denial. We have to start calling things what they are. and it's verbal
Correct.
and emotional dysfunction and abuse that we're perpetuating around, as grown-ups. And a lot of people have kids and they're not even concerned that, this is going to come back to their kids, or that that our kids are going to have to deal with this because we're not stopping it.
Correct. You're right. You're absolutely right. Like I said, I had to take a break too. I had to sit my behind down and say to myself, what in the heck are you doing to yourself?
Yeah, you can easily
what are you doing to yourself?
You can easily get caught up. You could come on. I came on with good intentions, and then the next thing I know, it's like, what in the heck am I in, and what is going on?
Right. But like I said, I get everything you're saying. When I saw your title, that's what made me click on it. I said, wait a minute, what is this title about?
And I could go real deep.
That's what made me click on it.
I could go, I'm a spiritualist too. I could go real deep, but I'm trying to keep this general for our people, because at the same time, I know I don't want to, like, I don't believe in snatching everything away, like, like whatever little connection people have to God. But at the same time, it's just like we're at the point where we have to.
Like I said, all you can do, honey, is just keep talking. That's all I can say. Just keep utilizing your voice. You got that voice for a reason. You got a voice for a reason. You got to keep talking. And eventually somebody will wake up. Maybe a new person will wake up every day.
Yeah,
but I have to be honest with you. You're not gonna be able to save everybody.
Oh yeah, I know.
Some people want to stay asleep.
Yeah,
because it's working for them. And it's working for them.
Just like you saw my title. I do realize this too. Just like you saw my title and you clicked on it. I know there's a few content creators that saw my title too and went live because they didn't want people floating over here.
Wow. Well, that's a shame. Well, that means they're not woke either.
They're like, either they're not woke, or they're a part of the agenda, because we think that our skin folks are kin folks, but they're not.
That's true. Well, you're right. You're absolutely correct on that one. Oh yes, you're absolutely correct on that.
Some of our skin folks are hired to lead us to destruction.
Correct. That's why I say you can't take. Everybody can't get on the boat. Everybody's not going to be. You're not going to be able to save everybody. Some people are going to be left behind, and that includes some family members.
Oh yeah. I see
we
that.
We just got to call it thing. We got to call it thing.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with us. We're so secretive. We lie so much. When you're secretive, you tell a lie. Because who are you hurting? You're hurting yourself. You're not hurting the other person. Because if you're keeping their secret, you're keeping them not being able to make it work either.
And selfishness. We don't realize that selfishness is the same thing, because at the end of the day, we are all connected by DNA. By DNA. So like selfishness, or or this notion of wanting to be better than, when there's no such thing, we're regardless of such, we're still going to be grouped in class together. Regardless of such, we're all gonna, it's like, we're all gonna, we're gonna have to one day fight. We're gonna have to fight together, as many of us that can.
Correct.
Because people are not paying attention to how they're annihilating us right now. Because we have a lot, like I said, the missing black women. Okay. Black women are 13 to 1. When you look at elections, everything. But black women, our ratio to men is 13 to 1. So black women are the black race. When you say the black race,
correct, there's more women in the world than men.
Facts. And that's for a reason. I done talked about that, and I could get deep with that, but but we got to start looking at where our power lies, and we got to stop believing that we're supposed to be submissive and not, because we're the only ones, in most cases, we are the ones that's going to care more about saving our children. We're the ones that's going to care more about these missing black girls. We're the ones that, and we've always been there during the civil rights era. You've got to look at all of those black women. Look at Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and all of these, all of the black women that contributed to us, getting to the position that we are in today. Yet, now, it's just like, it's like we've become more submissive or more, like docile than we were back then.
You think so? You really think that?
Yeah, back then, those were some strong women. Those were some strong sisters back then, and they were stepping out there and they were doing it. Now, I think
the men have become more submissive. You think that women have become submissive? Really?
The men, see, here's the thing about our men.
I think the men have become more submissive. I see that women are more powerful than men nowadays.
Well, yeah, but
you really think that?
Well, I'm gonna say yes. You got a point there, but we're not using our power and our voices.
I don't think we're not using our power for greatness.
Right, for the right things.
Greatness is what I believe.
For the right things and for what we need to use them
Correct.
for. Because we
Correct.
got some.
Now I understand that.
Because we got too much work to do, and and then we're choosing to how can we ignore the fact that they're trying to take away women's rights? How can we ignore the fact that they're trying to make abortion legal? How can we ignore all these missing Black girls and Black women that are coming up missing? How are we going to ignore the mass amount of Black women that are getting killed daily due to domestic violence? How are we ignoring all of this? And you see no billboards. You don't see it in the newspaper. You don't see it in the news. You don't see it on YouTube. So who's doing anything? Who's speaking about it?
Nobody. But we have to also understand money talk, bullshit walk. We need in order to pass legislatures and laws, we need money. We need money behind these things we want changed.
Numbers count as well. Now, numbers is money. Numbers count as well.
But where are these numbers? But where are we going to get these numbers? And where are we getting these people?
First of all, just like
you in one state, I'm in one state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's two of us, and you got a few people in the chat room, and that's how many of us? 10 of us, and then what?
Right, but see, let's look at that. Let's look at this, and if we were to be more collective and organized, and more collective into bringing, because there are a lot more like minds out here than us. It's just that we're not providing avenues and stuff like that. We're not utilizing this free media to organize when we should. But let's just look at it just like I just said. If the Black woman is the majority, and we're not just talking about the majority in terms of over the Black man in terms of number, we're talking about the majority in terms of here in the United States. So if we were to utilize those numbers, if we were to go after, just like that's one of the reasons why I'm waking up. I'm trying to get our sisters to wake up, and our sisters to collaborate, and our sisters to get more on the bandwagon of us resolving these issues, is because if we just look at the mass amount of Black women, and like you said, we ain't gonna get them all. We don't need them all. We just need a third of those Black women to step up to the plate, and we will win.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, how would you like to do this? I mean, okay, I hear you talking about it. You have to come up with you need a plan, and you need a plan, and we need to work with different people too.
That's true.
It's not just us as women doing it. We're going to need some manpower behind it, which may include males.
I mean, that's fine as long as, because one of the things we have to look at as well, we have to look at two things: infiltration. All right, now, a lot of times, like the Black Panthers movie, a lot of times when we've organized, they'll send, they always infiltrate us. So, as long as we have, Black males that have, a fair, open mind, and that are not, male supremacists, supremacists, then that's fine. That's fine. But that's fine. I have no problem with that. And there are some out there. But you know, we have to be very careful as well, because a lot of times when you allow, you know, people get involved in stuff, and I can give you an example. Because you like, we remember we had the women empowerment thing going. Okay, then
yes, okay.
and then all of a sudden, you know, Wiley came in and he was like, you know, because I always knew that he was a misogynist, you know, but he came in and he was like, he changed it. He was like, let's stop women empowerment. Let's start focusing on men empowerment. We're always, and little do we know, we're always doing male empowerment. You can go anywhere on YouTube, and first thing you hear, you know, plenty of channels speaking about freeing incarcerated Black men. You hear plenty of channels speaking about you know, like all the Black boys getting killed. But how many?
Is that what you're saying? But we can't really use that. Don't want to laugh. But we can't use that TSCC one empowerment. We can't use
no,
that.
I'm not, I mean, any start.
That dancer came in on some other bull crap.
Well,
I don't know who came with that. That came in on something else.
Me,
that went totally haywire.
But look, okay, even
because
still,
it was not good. Because if we're gonna say, you talking about some empowerment of people.
No, okay. Let's not go into that.
On a solid foundation,
right? Exactly.
No rocky stuff.
Right. Now, let's not go into that. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm the type of person, if you could get it started, then you can always, you could always fix it as you go. So, you know, like, I don't want to go back to that one. I'm just saying, because it really it should be everywhere, and it shouldn't be in just one spot or organized by one page or organized. Like, everybody got to speak out. Like, that's the first thing. The more people that start speaking out, the more people that start covering these topics on their channel, you know, the more that's gonna, and the more we support the channels that are speaking about things that's gonna help us, you know, then, you know, it'll grow and pop.
So are you speaking about just saving women only and just leaving out men?
No, we gonna save the men. We always save the men. When you save the woman, you're saving the man. We've never tried, because those are our uncles, those are our brothers, those are our sons, and those are our children. So, you know, it's not like, see, a lot of people, when they think, see, this goes back to this right here, Quanny. We first have to love ourselves. And see, we're so busy loving everybody else that we're ignoring the issues that plague us as Black women, like abortion, like them wanting to take women's rights away, like the missing Black girls. You know, we're so busy focusing on everybody else. We're not focusing on the things that directly plague us. And we got to take care of us first and us too. Every time that we do that, they are like, it's like everybody else want to just throw their stuff in the mix. No, you can't help nobody else until you first help yourself. And the problem is
you're right.
And so we got to stay focused on these issues, because these are the issues that are up front. And you don't see many Black men out there speaking on that. You know, so we got to do it. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at all of the issues right now centered around, because do y'all know that Trump denied the Protection of Women and Children's Act? The United Nations passed it. Then Trump went down there to one of them Caribbean countries and, you know, and forced them not to accept it. There's a lot of things going on right now in terms of women's rights, and that's right under our nose. Do y'all know that Trump signed an executive order against a lot of the civil rights acts and laws and stuff that protects us? Now, the last one that they the last one I spoke about.
So before I go to bed tonight, we'll be looking at
right.
No, I didn't know.
One of them links, if you go back to one of my other previous lives, I passed out the link to that. Trump, you know, like, so they're doing a lot of, Pence wants to take away, Trump said women are going to lose their rights. Pence wants to get up there so he can make women lose their rights. They're working on it already through civil rights, because civil rights is how women get their rights. You know, they're working on it by manipulating our minds. Like, every time we even, like, they've been passing around the agenda against feminism or against the women's suffrage movement. It wasn't feminism, it was the women's suffrage movement. And they were trying to say that white people used us. Well, at that time, it was doing segregation, so we weren't going to get many rights as all the rights that everybody else had. But one thing that we gained several things. We gained the right to vote when women didn't have the right to vote. We gained the right to not be considered as property and beaten and killed by our husbands. And now that's a big one, and that has been taken away. That has just been taken away. And patriarchy, yes, I saw Joseph Vlog say, speak about it's exactly that. And a lot of people don't even know that the world began as a matriarch because Black women were first. After Genesis, there was a time when Black women didn't need a man to have a baby. You look it up. I covered that subject as well. Okay, now patriarchy was invented by a group of Greek sheep herders. They were sitting there studying the sheep, and they saw how they learned from the sheep how to start patriarchy, and they basically started that within their own system. And then they took that and they implemented a lot of these things into religion, and they passed patriarchy through religion. Now, I'm not saying all the religions got to go or nothing like that, because there's some good and bad and everything. But I'm saying some of this stuff is man-made. And so we got to go back and start looking at that and realizing that, that ain't going to work for us, especially if we the first. Okay, and TC said we give birth, so women are the first teachers, the first language, the first mother. Yeah, you look up the etymology of matriarchal and all of that, and it's basically saying the first. Mother Earth must also be protected from fracking. Exactly. TC also says spiritual freedom, Black angels, quantum physics. Joseph Vlog says the rights of this country started with the white. Nope. No. Okay. United States is only a corporation. America is the country. And we had 8 other Black presidents before George Washington. Okay.
Correct. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that.
Right. Don't even know that. The Constitution was founded by us Black Indians. There's a lot of stuff we started and we taught them. They just took over and they changed things to work their way gradually. Just like now, we gained some rights and they're gradually taking them away because we're not paying attention. Right.
It's a great conversation.
And we have control. We have a lot more control than we think. We just got to step. They can't do anything to us when we step up and realize who we are and we start learning our rights, because we need to learn more about American history, American politics. We need to, need to learn more about, we don't even know jurisdictions, like where you stay. We don't even know American law to the point of knowing your true rights. And how the word Black.
Some of us live in areas don't even know who our mayor is.
Okay.
Don't know who your mayor is. It is crazy. You're right.
We don't know.
Everything you're saying, you're absolutely correct.
We don't even know when we say we serve these religions. We haven't even researched to find out the origin of the religion or anything. Correct. We're just believing what everybody tells us and going. Well, they said it, but we ain't doing no research. When I started doing research and started realizing how we were being bamboozled, I'm like, wow, we have got to wake up.
That's what I did too. I did the same thing as well, because I was raised one way with religion, and I had to do my own research. And I said, what the hell is going on? So I'm doing everything my great grandmama and great grandfather and
tradition.
It's like a generational thing,
and they don't even know why they were doing it, because that wasn't a part of it. A lot of this stuff, this system or this matrix didn't come into play until after the 1800s. Before that, we were living in our tribal indigenous lifestyles. They sort of forced this stuff on us because, just like you were saying, the 501(c)s and stuff, they started giving people money to start churches. They started giving people money to start schools. When we had our own system of education, we had our own languages. And one of the reasons when they say we couldn't read is because we had our own our own writing in our own languages. Look down there in Georgia where you see that you see that there was right. And then a lot of people don't even know that the Grand Canyon is a mound. It's a pyramid. It has writings on our writings and stuff on the wall. We've been here for a long time, and how long they'll never be able to tell us.
Correct.
Okay, German lady said
religion. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you for coming on. And I think you're I listen to you too, and you're very intelligent. And yeah, even when you cut up, sometimes you make a lot of sense when you cut up. It's just not, you ain't out here just breaking people and cutting and trying to just hurt nobody. So, like you're not out here like just, doing too bad.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. But I will be watching your channel much more.
Thank you.
I enjoy your intellect.
Thank you very much. Okay. And
you enjoy the evening.
Same to you. And German lady says religion gets, I'm reading a comment. German lady.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. German lady says religion gets misused way too much. It's a money grab and also causes wars. Right. Religion brought about the war, the Christian crusades and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, TC made a point that I need to make it once again online. The black is just a class system, and it means property. It means the same thing as slave under the United States, in the United States government. And also you can research it through the Black Law Dictionary. And white is a superior class system. Most dark Africans, when they come over here and they gain naturalization or citizenship, they're considered as white because it's only a class system. And see, we're so ignorant. We think it has to do with the color of our skin, and it does not. So we're agreeing to be property. We're agreeing to be slaves under the United States government instead of us being. That's why the 2020 census is coming up. It's very important for you to read those categories and classify yourself by who you are. Like for me, I'm American Indian of all 4 ways. I am 3-part Chata, is Chata, which is Mayan, and 1-part Cherokee, which is also Mayan. So like we have to, manually research your family tree. Go back to the 1800s. Look at your family land records, because a lot of us Black Indians got our Indian allocated land, and on there you will see $0, and you will see what tribe your ancestors came from, or what nation rather, because Chata is a nation. Because it's nations, clans, bands. It breaks down. Every time we moved or migrated, we changed our name. We named ourselves by something different. And shout out to Quanti for calling in. That was a great conversation. I really appreciate it. Okay. So like if no one else is gonna call in, I'm gonna tomorrow we're gonna do something further on. Tomorrow we're gonna have a panel of it's gonna be 3 of us. It's gonna be BB Nice, and then we have a new panel member. On Wednesdays, we're going to do something like Women Empowerment Wednesdays, and we're going to discuss, general topics when it comes down to politics, when it comes down to law, when it comes down to education, and different things for us today in our community. And so, we're going to cover that with a panel. We're also going to have call-ins tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do a panel, and it should be a very interesting show. I'll keep you posted, or I'm going to try to do I'm just going to try to set it up early so we'll know what time that is. And anybody's welcome to call in or participate, because this is a group effort. And what we're doing is we're problem solving, and we're trying to find resolutions to our problem. So I thank everybody who came in and supported, today with today's topic. Like I said, this is not the Section 8 sector of YouTube. This is the church hurt sector of YouTube. And we're going to have to get some therapy and healing in this sector of YouTube, because we got to stop verbally and emotionally abusing each other, because we're only hurting ourselves. All right. And I love everybody here. And until next time, I'd like to say peace. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video. And check out, wait, I got a call. Hi.
Hello, this is German lady. Hello, QI.
Hi, German lady. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Nice to speak to you. We know know, I sometimes make jokes with the Fruity Loom and stuff. I have nothing against you. You're a very cool person. We both showed the door and everything is cool. But you have a very interesting topic tonight. I was raised Catholic. My family is Catholic Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I went to the church. I even held a lot of like in my free time in the church and stuff. But as the older I got, the less interested I got with the whole church. Because I don't know about a lot about the black church, but the white church, there are a lot of scandals with pedophilia.
Yeah,
with,
as well.
With white pastors and stuff. There is lots of scandals here. In Europe, in white America, everywhere, there's gay preachers who molest boys and stuff. Plus, like I wrote in the chat, in my opinion, religion causes a lot of wars. It's a money grab. We see a lot of fake pastors. We see a lot of church and religion gets misused. And we don't, in my opinion, we don't need a church who tells us how we live. The church is against lesbians. The church is against homosexuality
And women.
But God, in front of God, we're all the same. No matter if you're a lesbian, if you're gay, no matter, we were all born in this world.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Like, also a woman, like, you know, like a lot of times the religions and stuff. And yeah, and let me just say this, German lady, like, I agree, our religions, but like a lot of times on this channel, I speak like, because, you know, they say you got to love yourself first, right? So I'm speaking to my people first, because, you know, we have to start from our family. We have to start, you know, like it starts with self. It starts with our families and our community, and then on. And see, one of the things, you know, so like I agree, you know, that, you know, we know that this is happening also in the Catholic, you know, a lot of the Mormon and a lot of the different denominations and stuff of, you know, the churches is all pretty much all the religions. But, you know, it's like the reason that I speak specifically about, you know, like the black church abuse and the black church hurt and things of that nature is because, you know, I have to, you know, like first I have to help my people. And so, you know, like, so like I do understand that, you know, it's going on worldwide and stuff like that. But I speak like a lot of times I'm speaking generally, you know, just, you know, to my people. And it's not like that, you know, like I hate or, you know, I'm racist against anybody else, but it's like we have to like help, you know, we have to help ourselves first before, you know, we can like help humanity.
But it is a universal problem, though, that the church is against gay, is against women in general. Women have not a lot to say in church.
Right. You're exactly
right. That is a problem, too.
Yeah, you're exactly.
And I would love for someone to call in, or you maybe tell, because I don't know that much about Black church, and I will listen, and I would love to hear about the Black church because I'm very interested. Thank you for having me on.
No problem.
Stay the way you are. You're a cool person. Everybody, take care.
All right. Thank you for calling in, German lady. All right. And if nobody else is going to call in, you know, like I said, we were just, a German lady got us by the, you know, just by the spiff of them. I mean, I was just about to hit that button. But if nobody else is going to call in, like I said, tomorrow we're going to have an interesting women's panel, and we're going to speak about, you know, like, we'll tell you the topic tomorrow. We won't want to ruin our topic, but, you know, we're going to have a women's panel tomorrow, and we're going to start trying to have, you know, a women's panel every Wednesday. Women Empowerment Wednesday, and we're going to speak about issues and stuff that, you know, plagues us in the community, whether it be education, you know, a variety of different topics. You see my email on the screen. If you have any interesting topics or anything interesting you would like us to speak about or possibly research or possibly cover, by all means, feel free to email me and let me know. If you have somebody who would like to speak on or activists or anything of that nature that wants to come forward. And, you know, because this is about empowerment. This is about us, you know, getting better and us healing. And that's, you know, what I'm trying to do with this channel, you know, And also, you know, we're gonna we haven't discussed it, but you know, we're gonna pick a day that suits us all, probably on the weekend, for the lesbian panel. So, you know, like I said, thank everybody out there. I really appreciate your love and your support. It means a great deal to me. And like, share, and subscribe. And you know, I'll see y'all like tomorrow. And until then, love and peace. And I'm out.